Are you ready to move to Sioux Falls? Welcome back to another episode of Move to Sioux Falls. We got to have the pleasure of talking with the one and only, my wife, Kayla Huizing, who runs SoDak Stays with me. She's an awesome mom, and she's ending our season. As we wrap up the season finale, we just want to thank all of our previous guests who were on and all the extreme value that they've added to the community of Sioux Falls. We've got tons more content leading up to season 2, and if you haven't watched all the episodes, go back and watch the rest of the episodes. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the season finale of Move to Sioux Falls. I think I know most of the answers to the questions I'm going to ask on HitFire, but I'm not sure. So
See, and I haven't listened to any of the HitFire stuff, so I don't even know what they are.
You just skip through that and then you listen to the long form stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great wife I have.
You know, Nicole was telling me about some episodes, and I was like, oh, I haven't seen it.
And she's like, what? What was she yapping about in the background when you were talking on the phone with me?
They were talking to someone else.
She was just laughing. I'm like, oh, I feel like half the time Nicole's working, she's just talking and laughing the whole time. So
yeah.
Okay, hun, we're gonna get started.
Oh, we're starting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably got some B-roll in there too.
Oh,
so
okay.
Conversational. So it doesn't have to be professional.
Okay.
Like
I can wear leggings.
And you can be casual.
Okay.
It's after 5 o'clock. So
Okay.
So we're on the Move to Sioux Falls podcast, and we're in the Ziggy, which we own, which is awesome. I have Kayla Huizing, my wife, on. So this is pretty exciting. And I run Move to Sioux Falls, which you know, and we're doing this to show the community and people outside the community why they want to move here or be integrated into Sioux Falls. So we'll start with some HitFire questions. Easy one. I think I know the answer. What is your favorite restaurant?
Oh, you think you know the answer to this?
Should I answer these for you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say Mackenzie River Pizza.
Oh.
Close?
Close.
Okay.
I would say either that or Looks. I really like Looks.
Okay. Adam Broyne said Looks too.
Oh,
so.
Well, Looks. Give us some sponsorship, man.
Yeah, or buy your parents pork.
Yeah.
I mean, they have enough hogs to supply them. So, next question would be, what's your favorite hobby or activity to do in Sioux Falls?
Oh, in Sioux Falls. I like taking the kids to the Washington Pavilion. Yeah.
Washington Pavilion. Okay. Good.
Without kids?
Yeah, without kids.
Pre-kids, I liked the bike trail.
Okay.
Haven't really done it since having kids, but
we only did it like twice before kids.
But I walked on the bike trail.
Oh yeah, you did walk on the bike trail. And I like actually taking the kids to like downtown we used to do that with Henry in the first little bit.
Yeah.
The bike trailer. We should whip out the bike trailer more.
I haven't been on it since I injured my toe on it.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was a bloody mess.
It was. So.
Stitches and everything.
Yeah.
Henry is gonna murder me. Yeah. Mom's dying. Cool. So next question. We got to keep it serious. No, I'm kidding. Casual after 5 o'clock. So, what would be the best thing about Sioux Falls, in your opinion?
I would say, I feel like this is very cliche, but it's like, it feels like a small city and a big town at the same time. Like you run into people all the time. I feel like when I studied abroad in the Netherlands, I like craved going to the grocery store and running into someone that I know, and that never happened. And here it happens all the time. It's a blessing and a curse. Sometimes I don't want to run into people I know in like my grungy outfit, but it's also like really fun to just like, I don't know, see a comforting face. Different places.
You're in Target when we're getting like Target orders and you're like, don't talk to me. I'm working. I'm busy.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite book that you've read? Because I know you read books and you have 15 of them from the library and it's kind of annoying. I feel like other people do that.
Oh, my favorite one besides the Bible.
Yeah, obviously. Yes.
Oh, that's hard. What is the one that had a movie about it that I read that was like a romance and it kind of had a little bit of, it was a Christian book. but it also Redeeming Love.
Redeeming
Yes,
Love. Yes.
that one.
That was a really good one.
That was a really heavy book.
I thought you were going to say that like Crazy Colleen Hoover book.
No.
Or
those are just like little snippets of entertainment for my night, but they're never like long lasting, have an effect on my life type of books. They're just like, oh,
gotcha.
That was something I read to entertain me for the
Or
night.
what was that other one that you read that you got from the chamber event with that burning?
Oh, The Burning Shield. I never
Burning
finished it,
Shield.
but it's a good book.
Good
from
book.
what I read.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That guy's right in Sioux Falls, right?
No, but yeah.
He's just doing some stuff in Sioux Falls.
Yeah.
See, I don't listen half the time. I'm a bad husband.
No.
We appreciate you joining us for this episode of Move to Sioux Falls. Your support means a lot to us. Make sure to follow and subscribe at Move to Sioux Falls to stay up with the latest content. Okay, we're gonna get into the interview portion of the show here. So, why Sioux Falls? What made you like? I know that like you always wanted to be in Sioux Falls, but you never like. You've kind of talked about it when you'd be like, I went on these little trips with Katie or Nicole, your sisters, to like go to Sioux Falls and go to Cherryberry or something. But was it just like always that allure of going there that like inspired it?
So for the people who do not know me, I grew up in Inwood, so like 30 minutes away from Sioux Falls, and I went to Dordt University and graduated there. And I knew I wanted to be close just because I love my family, and I feel like it only made sense. Like I knew that I wanted to not be in like a teeny tiny town, at least right out of graduation. And yeah, when we came to Sioux Falls, it was always like going to the Empire Mall or going shopping, and it was like this big fun thing. And so I feel like it just made sense to try to find a job here after I graduated, and thankfully I did. It took a few months, but yeah,
and a couple of tears.
Yeah. So I originally wanted to work for a hotel in Sioux Falls, and Albert got to witness me cry because I didn't get the job and was very sad about it. But it was all a blessing in disguise because then I didn't get the hotel job, but I did get the job at the chamber, which led to like a lot of the awesome things that are happening today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So before we started dating, senior year of Dordt College for life, but it is Dordt University.
Yeah.
Now, but was there any other place you had thought about like going? Was there like a number 2 area?
I think for like a half second, I considered Denver.
Was that just solely on when you went to the business trip and like
I
saw
had been
Denver?
there like maybe once or twice. Well, and I went there in college.
Oh, yep.
Just with friends for fun.
Went to the Wolves game against the Nuggets.
Yeah, maybe I did.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. But I did like Denver. But I was like, I know myself. I cannot be that far away from my family. So literally it was like I applied for one job there. They never replied. And I was like, that's fine. I really didn't.
That's the closing of the door right there.
Yeah.
So.
And I think I also applied for, I remember I applied for a job in Orange City, Iowa. And yeah,
Wasn't that like
it was
the
for a
travel agency?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they did offer it, and I declined it. It just wasn't a good fit. And I'm like, wow, my life could have turned out very different if I was in Orange City, Iowa. It would have been fine, but it would have just been different.
I would have told you we're not staying in Orange City, Iowa.
It's a great town.
A great town.
Yeah.
Great Dutch tulip festival and everything like that. So there was something that like just so you know how I know that Wolves game thing? Facebook stalking you.
I was like, were you even on that trip?
No. I joined the business club at Dordt after that. And then I was like,
you saw that I was at a Wolves game.
Oh, she's at a Wolves Denver Nuggets game. I think you have Haley in the picture
cool
with you.
Because I
maybe. I don't know. I mean, you were the president of the business club. You were kind of like the talk of the town at Dordt.
Okay, at that point I wasn't.
Yeah.
Or I never was.
What's been like, so you kind of grew up 30 minutes outside Sioux Falls, and I grew up on the East Coast, as most people know. Let's not name my state, but you got to see Sioux Falls kind of grow past like, cornfields.
Yeah.
What's been like the coolest like growth factor of Sioux Falls that you've seen, maybe like after you got out of college?
I would say just the downtown, like, because when I first moved to Sioux Falls, I worked downtown at 8th and Phillips, and it was only 2016, so 8 years ago, and it's crazy how much has changed down there with just like the Levitt and Sharapa and all of the different new restaurants and all of that stuff. Like it's incredible what's come in 8 years' time. And yeah, I'd say just the downtown, the changes there that have happened.
It's only growing. I
I
mean,
know.
I don't know if I said this ever on the podcast, but like Sioux City and Sioux Falls, they were at like the same size in like 2000, and like we've grown by like 200%, and Sioux City's grown by
know.
like 1%
I
or
never
something.
like when I go down there, I'm like, I don't need to stay. I'll drive through. I'll go to
Yeah,
Omaha,
yeah, for
Sioux
sure.
City. No.
I like what you said. Everyone keeps saying downtown though. I think too we need to like expand, like Dolly Farms. Like if there was like cool
That is
walkability
really
through
cool.
it's cool, but I think walkability kind of like would be
Lake Lorraine is cool. We did
that is
the
cool.
flow and paddle.
Flow
We
and
did
paddle.
a stand-up paddleboard
Yes,
date there.
and there's more things coming. So
Yes.
that could
I
be a
do
cool
like that
vibey
area. I'm trying to think of outside of downtown what other area I like, but
Yeah, I not West
downtown is
Side. I'm not a
cool.
West Sider. So sorry,
I'm
605
sure
Video
there's cool
Company. They live
things.
at West Side. So
I'm sure there's cool things over there.
yeah, for sure. Okay, let's go into SoDak Stays.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of knows the story. We'll kind of reiterate it again. I usually give a different perspective, and I say COVID changed our lives, and we started renting out our basement, paid off our student loans, and then your parents bought the bar, and then we managed. A couple people at YPN heard about it.
Are you telling this whole story?
No, that's what I usually say. And I say like stranger danger, no way. My wife like told me we should do this.
Yeah.
But like, let me hear like kind of your perspective on how you got the idea.
Yeah.
And because I kind of forget.
Yeah. I would say it could even start even years before.
Okay.
So when I was a senior at Dort, my parents had this house and they still do. They had a basement that is like kind of like an apartment, like it has a kitchen and everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it even came to be. They're like, what if we make this a bed and breakfast? And so I helped my mom with like getting the Airbnb listing up. Like I didn't know anything about it, but so we were just figuring it out together. And like at that time, we did the breakfast part of it. Like made breakfast the next morning for our guests.
Would people come upstairs or
they would come upstairs?
Okay.
And so the very first guest was Valentine's weekend, senior year. I am single.
Oh man.
And my mom and dad are fun and they're doing something for Valentine's Day. So they said, hey, can you stay at our house and host this guest? And so there were guests, a couple downstairs having fun on Valentine's Day. And they, did whatever. And it was their very first guest. So my mom and dad didn't want to like, I don't know, not do the whole breakfast thing in the morning. So then I got to serve them breakfast in the morning, which was kind of awkward to serve someone's.
Did you do like heart-shaped pancakes or
I
something?
don't think so. I think I did do pancakes, but I wasn't like fancy or anything.
Gotcha.
And like some bacon and eggs and stuff like that. But anyway, that kind of like, the whole like breakfast side of it, I didn't like, but like the getting the listing ready and like serving the people downstairs was, I think, maybe what sparked a little bit of the hospitality side of things for me and like got my feet wet with Airbnb. And then, obviously hosting people in our own basement was just like a further like progress on doing that.
Yeah.
And I feel like when like just God had put all these perfect steps to make it happen where we could create our business. And like just having the job at the chamber, you're making fun of me because I'm talking with my hands.
No,
I can feel it.
No,
but
no, I'm not.
Getting the job at the chamber led to so many different connections, which is how so many of the properties that we manage. Sorry, you keep looking at my hands.
No, I'm not. I'm not looking at your hands.
So many of the properties that we manage for are people who we met through the chamber, through YPN.
Yeah.
And so it just worked out perfectly that, we had Henry, we had been managing 2 properties when we had our first son, Henry.
Best cleaning inspector ever.
Yeah. And it was like, I really didn't want to go back to work after that. And so it was definitely, I went back for 6 weeks and then quit, and it was a leap of faith. And God just provided all of these different people that were like, hey, I'm getting an Airbnb. I want to not manage it myself. And so, we grew. I mean, we had 10 properties within like a few months of me quitting my job, and it just worked out perfectly.
Yeah, I think we were like, oh, our 3 or 5 year goal was like 25, and then like
Yeah,
right
we got it
away it
within
was
like a
like,
year.
oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. So,
So, wow, it's good perspective. I remember when we were in Cancun on our honeymoon, we were like, which business should we start? And we came up with the dumbest ideas. And we're just
yeah,
like,
we were
let's just
thinking
like
too
God handle
hard.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Did your mom ever like call you and be like, "You should start Airbnb"? Like, I want to know, like, what was the like eureka moment, like when you were like, "I'm gonna go to Albert and be like, hey, let's start renting
I wish I
to
remembered
strangers."
it.
Yeah.
I think no, my mom, I don't think she ever said it,
Did
but
we
it
just
was
look up side hustles to do?
no. I think it was just like, wow, we never stepped foot in our basement.
Yeah.
Like we had no reason to. There were
No
just
kids at the
two
time.
bedrooms, a bathroom, and a living room.
Yeah.
And it just felt like it was unused space. And I think I just was hearing about more and more people doing the Airbnb thing. And I was like, oh, why don't we try it? And it was like kind of like a side thing. Like when we first got married, I had this side business of making blankets.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
And it
remember
never
that
like turned into anything, and I never expected it to. So this Airbnb thing, I kind of thought was another thing. I was like, oh, we'll just kind of do this side
thing.
Airbnb thing, and then
Yeah.
yeah, it actually did turn into something.
Dude, I remember you teaching me how to do those blankets. You'd be like, "Hey, run to Walmart." I'm like, "They don't have any pink yarn here." And they're like, and you got so mad because you saw this other lady on Facebook doing it too, and you're like, "She's taking all the yarn." I was like,
I
"I don't
think I
know if
made
this
like
is good."
$5 an hour doing that.
I think so. Yeah, and we were watching Shark Tank religiously.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, that was such a wild time of our
Yeah.
lives, just figuring that stuff out and
Yeah.
just yeah. Do you remember our first guest?
yes,
And we let them come through our
yeah. So our basement is
multi-level
yeah, it's multi-level, and we didn't think
or
that
house.
people would want to like walk through the backyard to get to it. So we're like, oh, just come in our front door.
Because it was right at springtime and it was kind of muddy, so we were like, oh, they wouldn't like that.
Yeah. And our living room is right in the front door. And I just remember it was Sunday afternoon, and I was like, I can't even relax on this couch at the thought of this random guy
Yeah.
just walking as he wants to in and out of the house. I think it was after that first guest that we decided, okay, they're going to enter the backyard. No one batted an eye at it. And then they got complete privacy. They never came upstairs, and
Yeah.
it was amazing.
Oh, I remember that guest that like didn't read the instructions and I accidentally like left the door unlocked at like 10
And
o'clock
we were
at
sleeping,
night.
and someone knocked on the door. Or no, they didn't even knock.
No, they
just came
opened. They just
inside.
came in.
And we're like, someone's in our
Whoa.
house.
Yeah.
But they were fine.
They were fine.
They didn't murder us.
Yeah, no, exactly. Everyone's good.
Yeah.
That first guest too, he was a surveyor for Grand Falls Casino, and he was like, "These are awesome. I wish there were more of them in town." And I feel like I
More
should,
Airbnbs.
yeah, more Airbnb short-term rentals. And that's when I should have put two and two together to be like, "Oh, that's a business."
Yeah.
But I
I
didn't
think we
right at
always
the
thought
time.
it was like gonna take, thousands and thousands of dollars to get started.
Yeah,
And it would if you're owning all of your properties, but if you're managing them,
Yeah.
it's like nothing to get started.
yeah. So maybe tell people why we manage and not own everything right away. I mean, I know it takes a lot of capital, but like maybe talk about like the pros of just managing
Yeah, I
instead of
think like
owning.
for us to manage, it's like it fits our skill set really well. Like it's the hospitality side of it that a lot of people struggle with.
Yeah,
Like they think that they can just provide this house and it's going to be good, but it's like no, we have to like communicate with people. We have to be nice to them. We have to provide a clean space. We have to market it. And
Yeah.
so like all of those different things fit our skill set, and it's like you can really see the value that you are bringing to someone by doing that. And also no one was doing it in Sioux Falls when we started. Now there's a few different ones, but it's like we kind of looked at each other like, why is no one else doing this? Like
Yeah.
it didn't really make
It's
sense.
it's definitely a 24/7 hustle grind too, because I know you still wake up middle of the night, guests can't get in.
Yeah, that's my
code's off.
superpower. I can fall asleep, be in a dead sleep. Someone calls me. I go, "Hi, this is Kayla with SoDak Stays."
I
And I help them
cannot
out.
believe it.
I hang up. And
Back out complete. I'm like, I could never do that. But then I mean, I feel like I'm really good at like just grinding and going to
Fixing all the
fixing or like
things.
assessing problems and
yeah,
coordinating some stuff or asking you to
Yeah.
coordinate. So yeah, it's a good
Team
balance.
effort.
Oh yeah, for sure. What so we have like between 20 and 25 properties. It's always a little bit fluctuating. What would be maybe your top pick of one of the properties we have.
Yeah, I feel like besides the Ziggy, just kidding, the Ziggy is a great property, but it is an old property and
Older
gives us
property.
some headaches.
Yes.
Um, I mean, it's definitely the treehouse. I don't know whose property it is in the same, but it's got a 2-story solarium, and it is just like you will not see another house in Sioux Falls in the Midwest. Like I've never seen another house like that has
Yeah.
just like a whole 2-story room of windows. And I feel like, yeah, half the year is winter, and so when I'm going into a property, it's just so nice to go there in the winter and like maybe just sit down for a minute, respond to emails from there just to
Yeah.
like get a little boost of vitamin D.
That's a sweet like working off. It's really fun, and I think the kids will like this when we're like, "Hey, we're gonna go work at one of the properties," and they're like, "Oh, we get to go to all these
Yeah.
different
Henry
properties."
named off like 8 properties the other day. He
Whoa.
said his favorites were the Treehouse, the Perry Mansion, and the Ziggy.
Oh.
It's very cute.
Well, it's a good thing he is moving into the Ziggy when
Yes.
we move in the interim until we find our next house.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it'll be fun.
yeah, super fun. I'm surprised the treehouse, the solarium, hasn't broken a window yet. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
those things are like indestructible.
Yeah, they gotta be if they're taking all of that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got to be. I bet why we don't have another house like that in Sioux Falls is it's got to be so expensive to build
Oh,
that
yeah.
now.
Yeah, all those windows, I don't even want to know.
I don't want to know like if each long window is like what $5,000 to
Yeah.
replace each.
Yeah.
I don't. It could be more than that.
Yeah.
No
It's-
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
what makes it cool though.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you do to stay involved in the community of Sioux Falls as a working mom?
Yeah, I feel like it's changed a little bit since I had kids. Like
Yeah.
before kids, I would say I was involved in the I'm blanking on what the mentoring thing is called
Leaders
now.
of Tomorrow.
No, that's
Oh,
a citywide
Sioux 52.
Sioux 52.
Yeah.
Yes. So I did that. I mentored through LSS. I mentored a 90-year-old lady for a long time until she passed away. So that was like one of my favorite ways to
Yeah.
stay involved. I think now it's just transitioned to like staying more involved in our church just because
Mhm.
it obviously I want to be involved in our church, and
Mhm.
just with having kids, it makes it a lot more conducive to that.
For
And
sure.
so staying involved in church that way.
You got
and
mops too.
yes, I do love my Momco group.
Momco now. I actually get pretty jealous when you're like, this is all the stuff we had for brunch, and I'm like, really? On Thursday randomly? I wish I could get that brunch is it every other week?
Twice a month, yeah.
Twice a month.
Pretty great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, trying to think of something else that I could get curious on, because like I know most of everything. Sorta. I don't know.
Ask me my 3 things I would add to Sioux Falls if
Oh,
there was
that's
no
usually-
budget. This is the one
that's my
question I
last
prepared.
question.
Okay, don't ask me that now. Okay. I prepared for one question.
That's the question that most people prepare for, though.
Oh, okay.
So, and I'm like, hey, I'll always ask that question
Okay.
every single guest. Well, why don't we just do it right now?
Oh.
I don't care. We'll come up with some more stuff after. So, if budget wasn't an issue, what would be the top 3 things to make Sioux
Okay.
Falls even more awesome?
Okay, so number 1, it's not really like it's probably even a budget issue.
And
It's
I'll
just
probably disagree with you on
okay.
this.
It's not really a budget issue, probably.
Okay.
Maybe it's just the right people haven't come together and done this. But a hybrid school that is so like, your kids want to be in school for halftime
Yep.
and the rest of the time homeschool, that is a Christian school, that is agriculture focused, that is in Sioux Falls city limits. So I know they're existing outside of the city. I do not know that it exists within the city.
Oh, we should do ag and business focused.
I mean, they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. True.
yeah. So anyway,
Okay.
that is what Sioux Falls needs. Another thing is a WNBA stadium.
There we go. Hey, all we gotta do is talk to Emily Thomas of like, hey, who do we connect with?
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the
I
Sioux
think
Falls City
like
soccer
we've
team?
gotten really into watching the Indiana Fever, and I'm like, man, this would be so cool if it was in Sioux Falls. But
Dude, I feel like we could. I mean, it's big enough that we could do
yeah,
at least
and it's like
WNBA.
WNBA is on the rise.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe they could play at the Denny, but I don't know if that's
They could play at the Sanford complex,
Pentagon.
the Pentagon.
Do you know the WNBA? Caitlin Clark would come to town and it would be
full already.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
would. No, you need a bigger.
They would have to do like switch the hockey rink into a basketball stadium, which people do all the time. They have that at the Bulls
Yeah,
Stadium.
I just don't think even the Denny is big enough.
Yeah, if it holds,
I think
like,
it holds like 12,000, and like some of the
most
other games
attendance,
are
I
like
feel is like
17 to 20.
9 to yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that, and then the third thing would be some kind of more of a facility for indoor recreation for kids in the winter. I know there's been a few places that have tried it, and there's been some successes in Sioux Falls. There's been like some that have gone out of business, like an indoor playground. It would be awesome if it like also had, I know there's people talking about it, about like a coffee shop attached that like I could, if I needed to get some work done but still want to be with my kids, but still want them to have fun and not just be like watching TV so that I can get some work done. I can be working and they can be playing and I'm watching them through a glass window. I don't know. Not like, maybe not that much of a barrier, but something like that, more indoor recreation.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I think Mayor Paul's talked about trying to get some more of that.
Yeah.
So,
So what would be, what was your top one?
My top one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not like, what would you pick?
Oh, out of those 3?
No. Like, unrelated.
I haven't even thought about that.
You haven't?
No.
You've asked all these people and you haven't
all these people. I haven't really thought about it.
Putting you on the spot.
Yeah. I mean, can I just pick someone else's and be like, yeah, I'm taking theirs. So I did like Chuck Shaver's answer in the last episode, actually. He said if we got heated sidewalks throughout the whole city, that would be awesome.
Really? You think that'd make a big enough difference?
I mean, for the winter, for sure. I mean, that would be awesome. I would want a football stadium. There's my answer.
Okay,
like
football stadium.
I know we have arena football, but it would be really cool if we could get like if we didn't have to drive to go see like the Vikings.
Yeah.
I think that's my whole like deterrent from going to like sports games. Like, yeah, I'll go to an Iowa State game like every so often. Or we went to that Iowa State basketball game for March Madness, but it's like the 4 to 5 hour drive is just not fun. You know?
Yeah. Someday we'll get there.
We'll get there. We're at 300,000 within everything, so we'll be there. It'll be good. How is working with your husband on business stuff?
Just kidding.
Wow.
It is great. It is, I feel like, made us better communicators because we've learned, I think when we first started working together, like I would just say, hey, this needs to be done. And you felt like I was being
You're the boss.
I'm the boss, which I am.
You're always the boss, but yeah.
And so we've learned to like, hey, I found out that this issue is happening at this property. What should we do to get this done together? And so I feel like that has translated into like other areas of our life too, of just like how we can communicate better so that we're on the same team.
Yeah. I mean, not this morning, but
it's fine.
A little bit of an argument, but we're good.
Yeah. But I think like the flexibility that it's brought us of like, oh, hey, let's, I'll take the kids, you do this. And then maybe sometimes we go back and forth throughout the day. Like just knowing that they're with one of their parents is really nice and that we can like really be flexible in our days. And it doesn't have to be like concrete of like, no, you have the kids all day. I'm working.
Yeah.
Like
and I like the flexibility that we have going on because it's like made us like be more flexible. Like, when people go like, hey, can you come do this thing with me? And they go, sorry, I'm busy.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's always a bad excuse. And now it's more been like, hey, I actually have something going on here, but here are like 3 other times that I can actually do it.
Yeah.
So like it does translate really well into like everyday life. And that like evolved too. It was like more of like, hey, do this, and hey, there's some things coming up. I see your calendar is open. Can you do this? And then now it's been more of like a better communication, I think, of just like, by the way, are you going to clean a property if we can't find a cleaner, or am I going to do it, or are you going to just boss me on that
I'll
one?
boss you on that.
Okay. Gotcha. So we have an election coming up.
Oh, geez.
We don't have to get into it if you don't want to.
No, I don't.
Oh, I was going to just say, are you going to vote? Are you going to?
Oh, am I going to vote?
Should we vote? Municipal government things. I feel like it's very important.
Yeah.
Everyone has a voice here in Sioux Falls.
Yeah. We should vote, and I don't know what it takes to get more people to vote. I was
Yeah.
actually thinking about early voting, probably maybe this week, just to, like, get it out of the way so that it's not
Interfering with our
Yeah.
move.
Yeah, and just so that the day doesn't come like, something could come up on that day, and maybe this is why a lot of people don't vote, is they wait until that day and then, something comes up. They're running late, whatever,
Oh,
and they
yeah,
don't do it,
for
and so
sure.
it's like a lot of people don't realize that you can just go and early vote and get it out of the
For
way, and
sure.
then you're done for. You don't have to, like, stress about something coming up or long lines, which being election poll workers in the past, there's never
Yeah.
long
There's never
lines.
long lines.
It's
But if
really
everyone
unfortunate.
started coming,
If they started coming, there would be long lines
we
again,
should
which would
pass.
be great. It would
Yeah.
be like a thrill. I remember when I first moved to Sioux Falls, 1 or 2 times, there was long lines, and it was like, "This is exciting." Like, we
Yeah,
are, like, making things happen
for
here.
sure.
But, like, now it's like every time I've gone in and I've
In
felt
and out.
totally comfortable taking the kids with me because I know that I'm literally gonna walk in the door with them, do it, walk out, and be done in a minute, which,
Yeah.
is very convenient, but I wish
Yeah.
there would.
We should just require all the businesses to just say, "Hey, it's voting day.
And a lot of them
This is your
do.
time to go."
Like, a lot of them do. At the chamber, yeah, we could get off to vote,
Yeah.
but it's
I mean, we
whether
can't find them or anything, but
use that time to vote or not, but
yeah.
get out there and vote. I don't know
Yeah.
if this is coming out before the election or not,
It'll
so.
probably be after, but that's okay. We'll still
There's
say
always
it.
another election, so you should
Yes.
always get out and vote.
Exactly. Yes. Um, cool.
So, what would be
We're flipping the
your
script. You're the interviewer now.
Yeah. So, coming from the East Coast and living in Sioux Falls, what is one thing you wish you could bring from the East Coast to Sioux Falls?
Oh, that's a hard question because I lived in New Jersey, Vermont, and Prince Edward
They're all on the
Island.
East Coast.
They're all on the East Coast, but they're all very kind of different.
Maybe there's one thing from one place or
Yeah. Oh, okay. This I loved about the small town in I was on Lake Willoughby in Vermont, and they wouldn't plow the streets that well at first, and then any gravel roads they would kind of leave semi unplowed so you could take your snowmobiles everywhere. And
Oh,
that would be like a
you
thrill in
want
the
that
winter.
here?
Oh yeah, if you were just hey, it's it's not plowed enough that or it's plowed enough that cars and everyone can still drive through, but snowmobiles, if you wanted to just get some outdoor activity kind of integrated into Sioux
Yeah.
Falls during the winter, I feel
Yeah.
like we need more outdoor activities in the winter. That would
Yeah.
be something that would
A
be
snowmobile.
awesome.
I've never driven one, but
Yeah.
it does sound fun.
Yeah, my mom bought me a crappy one and went for Christmas one year, and it was
Oh, yeah.
not a good purchase, but it was fun.
It's a memory.
Yeah, it is a memory. So that's what I would try to add to Sioux Falls. That would be super cool.
That is a good one.
So yeah.
Yeah, I asked my sister and sister-in-law, what would you bring? And we both were all like, man, if we could build a mountain,
Build a mountain.
no, that's one thing I feel like we're missing is some
Great
nature,
Bear.
some more nature.
Mm.
Like,
Most people just say we'll drive to the Black Hills then.
I know, but
So,
it's not easy to do.
Yeah,
If you
true.
one day you're not gonna drive to the Black Hills.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe that is something, if budget weren't an issue,
we should
a
build a
way
mountain.
to get to the Black Hills in an hour.
Oh, we should just get a Hyperloop.
Yes.
Call Elon
Yes.
Musk up. Mayor Paul, call him up.
Yes.
Bring a Hyperloop to Sioux Falls
Yes.
to the Black Hills. That would be dope.
Yeah.
Very dangerous though, I feel like.
Nah, worth
You could probably take a plane. Probably take 30, 45 minutes to take a
but more budget friendly.
Yeah, true. I think a Hyperloop or a train,
Yeah.
a train would work,
Yeah.
but we're getting rid of trains with the
Yeah.
Sioux Steel stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
Anything else you need to grill me on? Any new things I can tell you? Probably not.
I don't know. I don't think so. I'm trying to think business has been good.
Yeah.
I feel like, when here's one thing. I think when you talked about education, the the city kind of passed an ordinance on short-term rentals, right? And
Mhm.
I'm writing and publishing a book called Not Just Another Transaction to help, single family home buyers, sellers, and investors on just a guide, right?
Mhm.
Um, what would be like a good way to, if you're wanting to get into short-term rentals, so you follow the rules, you get educated on the whole process of like being a short-term rental owner or manager.
Mhm.
Obviously, you'd buy my book, duh.
Mhm.
But what would be another good way to be like, hey, I'm following the rules?
Yeah, so not to pitch myself, but I do consultations with people who are looking to get into short-term rentals, whether it's in Sioux Falls or not in Sioux Falls. And so basically we sit down and we talk through, yeah, all the, the fun things about designing your house and
Yeah.
all of that good stuff, but we also walk through like these are the exact steps you need to take to be in compliance with the city, to be at the state and getting your health license and all of those good things. So number one, you could sit down with me and we could talk through those things because it is hard to find like where all of that information is at and the websites are clunky and all of that stuff.
Mhm.
But then also you can join the Sioux Falls Short-Term Rental Alliance on Facebook. There's a lot of Albert and I, yeah, we run that.
We made the page,
We
but
made the page,
there's
but
the association
and
as
there's the
well.
South Dakota Association as well. And so that's a great place to just find all the information and make sure that you're in compliance because, yeah, it's good to follow the rules. And the rules are in place for a reason and it's for people's safety. And we care
Yes.
about safety.
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And changing out all those windows to meet those state
But if
regulations.
there's a fire, our people are going to be able to get out. Firefighters are going to be able to get in. It's going to be great.
Yeah,
Not great,
definitely.
but
I
great.
love compliance, right?
Yes.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you, my wife, coming on, telling us a little bit about yourself. Tell the audience where we can find SoDak Stays. So if people want to experience Sioux Falls or, start, consultations or maybe even have us manage their property, where they can find you.
Yeah. So, first of all, a lot of people think, yeah, we manage Airbnbs, which we say that because people commonly know it as Airbnb, but we manage short term rentals. And so, yes, you can find us on the Airbnb app, but you can find us at SoDakStays.com and you can book directly with us and you can save a ton of money by doing that. And so, you can find me, yeah, SoDakStays.com, and you can find information about doing consultations on there as well, also on Facebook and on Instagram.
Nice. Cool. Well, love, I really appreciate you coming on. And this is a wrap.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for tuning in to
Yeah.
another episode of Move to Sioux Falls. Don't forget to follow and subscribe at Move to Sioux Falls for the latest content. And we'll see you next time.